Welcome to Quantum Dynamic 8. Do like, share and subscribe. Don't forget to press the bell icon to never miss an update from Quantum Dynamic 8. This is extract from the book Offers to Malik, The Journey Within by Kailasri Bandyopadhyay. You can find the link to order a copy of the book today given in the description box below. I have but known and also perceived from the Vedanta that the universe reveals only to those who follow their heart. It's about the immanent and the transient. With the immanent or actions, we can combat death, and with the transient or the knowledge, we can reach the acme called the immortality. The concept of God could not lure many, but soul is an energy that cannot be denied by any. As we have all known that energy can neither be destroyed nor be created but can alter from a form to another. We have also known that God is in each one of us. Therefore, from the biological point of view, the body and the mind are interlinked by the breath of life. None of us can deny the existence and need for oxygen. Then, if we consider oxygen as the root source of our living, we wouldn't be misled while interpreting the 9 unchangeable truth, the 9 inevitable laws of the nature which consoles our residency of well-being. The reaction of photosynthesis is also preceded by carbon dioxide and oxygen reaction to form the basis. The law of 9 tails that I'll be elaborating about will be in literary expansion for a better understanding and interlinking to the life's process. I'll conglomerate some realistic and factual scientific explanation too in between for a broader impact on a mass scale. The agenda of my analysis is to wind up the process of global awakening before it's too late. There are articles around about the report published recently by the NASA. According to the report, during this specific period, Jupiter and Venus will come in close proximity of each other and will be separated by just 1 degree. Venus will move to the southwest of Jupiter, and as a result it will shine 10 times brighter than Jupiter. Venus' bright light will heat up the gases in Jupiter, causing a reaction which will release an absurdly high amount of hydrogen into the space. This reaction will come in contact with our Sun at 2:50 a.m. on December 25, 2019. On December 25 there will be conjunction of 5 planets: Panchayat, Jup and Ketu and Sat and Sun and Pluto. I strongly felt something is coming up this Christmas. This is a confirmation. Important decision/day of judgment. What do you think are the repeated climatic changes hype warnings are all about? There was severe movements in Antarctic Circle recently, on the July 10th, where a 58,000 square kilometers chunk of the iceberg moved towards the South Pole at a 12% angular shift. The iceberg will not only be a threat to the sailors but also be melting as the Earth will heat up during the November climatic changes. The theory of iceberg also refers to the theory of Amazuran, thus causing what we have been fearing all our life but been majorly careless about, the global warming. The global warming may and will lead to alteration in energy shifts and frequencies, cause hindrances in technology, bring bodily changes and cause health issues expand. The changes in the energies will make us all sensitive. The constant rainfall may be somewhere linked to uncanny invisibility of the sun. The increase in rainfall will also be causing flood and bring a halt to regulatory work processes of life. I figure out somewhere from my knowledge of years of understanding the nature, the Jupiter is but the planet that when shines brings but a global awakening to process. I have been through the 51 stages of awakening, and I had always wondered how a mass awakening will be and how but so many illusions will all be projecting towards the 5-dimensional reality. The only fear I've been inflicted by all my life was but the survival of the fittest. The 9 unchangeable truths are: 1. We feel oneness and harmony with our God. God, as we have considered for a better understanding in this analysis, as the oxygen, the breath of life. In a literary expansion I'll thus elaborate furthermore. Since we feel oneness and harmony in and with oxygen and the root source of our living, it should thus be the most expensive to us. We shall therefore gear up our courage and be ready to accept what the universe has for us. Therefore, with the best of our emotions, we should follow our gut instincts. We all know only truth prevails at the end of the day, thus we can sit back and watch as life propel without any fear, expectation, hatred, jealousy, greed, worry or anxiety. Then we will be ready for any challenge, and we have faith on the root source of life, which is why we are living and not dead. 2. We inculcate morals, knowledge, and preach them or make the best of what we have learned. A lot of us are not in harmony and are constantly purging. A lot of us feel dissipated by the moon and the tyrannical actions all around. it gets all the more difficult to hold on to the changes. Thus it is best to speak out whatever you have known or learned or learning for a better understanding of your own thoughts, helping others find a closure to theirs. And also making a room for exchange of new thoughts and ideas than boast about the already earned. It is always better to move out of the darkness and see through the reality as it is. There are various lessons that life teaches us, and not learning from them will repeatedly push us back to wind the wheel of fortune again and again till we have earned an understanding to the lesson. There is no greater power than the truth itself, which we are all aware of deep inside. Everything that we are scared of is a result of suppression of the very truth which we are running away from. We are constantly chasing illusions, but we have no time to rethink about what the reality is. The truth is that death is inevitable, and there is no better route than to follow our hearts, because nothing in this world is permanent. But at the end of the day we will only regret about what we had not done owing to the very fear. 3. We are capable of being God ourselves, thus we should be God to preach all that we know of and be around those who make us feel the oneness with our soul self, or those who make us feel God or good. Since we have advanced to the extent of creating artificial oxygen, we realize how powerful the human brain is. Therefore you should let the Lord, Malik of yours, your mind, your soul, your body judge you in accordance to your actions. If you are not in the best intention to love, if you are not being your own self, you shall purge and be inflicted by guilt inside, also known as karma, again and again. You shall evaluate yourself from time to time based on your principles and morals. You cannot deny that there is always an equal and opposite reaction to every action. But the power of truth, light, and love cannot be hindered by any. We all thus know faith can move mountains. In other words, if you truly desire for something, the universe will conspire for you to get you that. But purge it all out with authenticity to the emotions. 4. At the end of the day, it's about being truthful, and let wisdom be at power and the mind shall awaken. If you have broken down the promises 1,000 times, if you have let it go another 1,000 times, still what stick to you is but yours. Life is simpler to those who are wise, honest, and truthful. The art of peace is acquired in that process. There are certain constants of life which you cannot deny. When you are at a loss of everything, there is still a light, a hope alive peeping in between the mountains. It's your wisdom that is with you in the darkest claustrophobia. The universe shows thus magic to the simple. They have made references to this context in the Vedas as Tatvanam. The ultimate truth, the catalyst, the power, the destroyer, and the very creator. It's Shiva, the God, your Malik, the power of your heart that can change the world. The power of heart is 600 times powerful than the mind. The path of life for those who tread the path of heart are thus topsy-turvy. The art of the Big Bang is but glorifying in patience, dedication with the power of will, truth, faith, and thus the very light. The only way to activate the catalyst is but the melodious flute of soul, the song sang from the heart for the unknown, yet known an aura. It's the same power that let you scribble out what is but stored in your soul to flow out without worrying about anything but the truth itself. 5. Attract the positive in order to be in harmony, a straight line. The linear movement on a path, as proved by Newton's law of motion, has been derived from the Vedas. The first law, which talks about our body, continues to be on a straight line unless an equal and opposite force is applied. If we consider a newborn who is learning the art of living, growing up, then we can infer that the child is innocent when born, thus has a constant positive thinking. Then the child learns about lies and learn to lie. The parents of the child scold the child and the child begins to cry. If the child when crying is not given a chocolate but is allowed to cry, then the child soon learns that it's better to follow the first path of truth than the second path of lies. Thus the child can forever be spared from karma, and thus will be in harmony with soul self. To be in harmony is to be who you are with the best of your ideas of what is right, feasible, morally correct, and that which is a source of serendipity to you. 6. The beauty of vitality, valor, hostility are rarely known, but a control of these can lead you to the path of your dreams. It's inside you, inside your very heart, which is why your heart starts to throb before the night of examinations. You have been searching for the willpower everywhere, but it's ultimately in you to make the magic occur. If you go against the universe, due to vengeance, lack of trust, impatience, you will suffer. You think you always get hurt in trying to get what you desire, but the desirability is that of your ego self and not your soul self. What your soul self wants, your heart truly knows, and it's your heart which also knows how you can fulfill your impossible dreams. You have known what your heart desires, right from your childhood. Close your eyes and ask your heart and you will know it all. The beauty of ego is in the pride achieved by global goodness. How can you flaunt your ego, if you have nobody singing songs in your praise and light? How can you flaunt your ego being without being the light, truth, and the cause of the very smile of satisfaction? 7. There is no room for being shy or in fear. The lessons we learn are lessons of self-protection against further injury. It's of utmost need to kill every fear, as death is inevitable and we have but few more years to live every moment, in the best way and in reminiscence. You should let your soul self be free, and you should be free to your soul self. You should love your soul the way it demands love. You should not worry about the man-made society around. You should gear up courage with all the valor and love for yourself to combat anything physical or mental for a justice to your soul self. They can only complain, manipulate, and delude you to make you fit in the unfit societal conflict. For years what your heart desires is what should be your concern. Therefore let us love, play in joy, play in mirth, play in truth and with the cosmic energies and in the Platonic patience, and through the learning stages grow. Let us love ourselves first and put our needs before every illusion. It's but one life and there is no need to follow the path you are being asked to by others. Do what your heart desires without greed, without need, without fear, and without any expectations. 8. There is my God, oxygen, / Malik, in my terminology, who I sacrifice to. I listen to the hints of nature, I also listen to my gut instincts, and thus I surrender to the nature that will lead me there to where is but my destiny. Why is that what you desire the most keeps running away from you like the line of horizon? The illusions darken up and clouds fleet in and you realize what you were chasing wasn't what you wanted to. You chased for the wrong, thus several times failing to understand what your heart truly desires. Thus you do it when you are not in harmony or not in your true soul self. Though each connection you see are short-lived, but the ultimate eternal one too exists. To reach the ultimate connection, it's of utmost need to be one with yourself and know from your soul self what it truly desire, and also to be in your soul self to attract what you have yearned for. 9. The ego is but beautiful, and it's not what we boast about, but it's about what makes us feel. God the Visvamitra, the friend of the universe who is truthful and thus the light. The ego self is the worst enemy as well as the best of us. If we consider the example it from the day-to-day life, we will have a better understanding about the beauty and thus can fathom the contrast of the dark side and the bright side of the very ego self. Consider a child who goes to the school and ranks first in the class. He is very proud and keep flaunting himself. On being asked for help regarding some subject, he denies to help and as a result boosts up in pride and a spirit of competence. He is always competing to be at the top. He grows up, he comes in contact with children of other schools who too rank. On coming to a competitive spirit, he wears up more pride, boosts up more in valor. He has always prepared himself for the best but has only learned to keep what he has learned to himself. On the contrary, there is another child who has been ranking in his school too. He has been very kind to others to explain to them what he has learned, thus have exchanged ideas on a greater basis. He has thus never been at pride for what he has learned but embraced the very power of wisdom. The pride has been taken by him in rather professing his knowledge. The two children grow up, meet maybe at a tutorial school. It's hilarious, the second child is smarter on delivering answers more promptly and in a much more detailed way. This is because the second one does not have fear of being judged and has nurtured what he has learned, then embedding the learning to the mind circuits. Whereas the first one with competitive spirit, not only fears comparison and fears being analyzed but also have repressed what he has learned, avoiding to nurture, given the scope of analysis. Thus pride is beautiful but pride can also kill. Therefore what we can infer is that there is no truth that is powerful than the very truth itself. No power thus can hinder the power of truth. The truth is everywhere and thus truest of desires come true. Do no evil because it's truth that also can destroy the very evil. Truth, faith, peace can together do the magic. Therefore while you do one thing at a time, while you concentrate on a particular matter, delve in deep with your truest desires. If you cannot, what you are doing is not what you want to do. Time and tide waits for none, thus let us do what we really want to with the power of truth, love, and right. Even though time is an illusion, but dreams are awaiting to be lived. So let us come near to my Malik, God/oxygen, and let the God/our Malik come nearer to us, to our soul self, to who we are in the ultimate reality.